Tuesday. It's pretty super today. It's a good day when we got to talk Morbius. Always a good day. The movie of the century. It's Super Tuesday here on Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Joining me today, above me is Scotty Hawk from Hawks Holocrons, and below me is a casual pop fan, Steven. Joining us momentarily will be Andrew Fantasia from the Andrew Fantasia channel, but his computer is from 1921. It's actually a Flintstone computer. It's a chisel on stone, so he's just waiting for that to get fixed. But once that gets fixed, he will join us, and we're going to have a good time talking here. Guys, how you doing? Thanks for joining me today.
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Not bad, not bad. I may or may not have sold him that computer from the Outer Rim territory. So
it's your fault. You sabotaged him. You didn't want him to be a part of the show today. You're like, out of here, Fantasia. We don't need your kind here.
A deal's a deal, man.
Yes, it absolutely is. All right, we got a full show, a full slate of nonsense to discuss today. Mostly Sony stuff, though. It's a good day when we get, like I said, it's a good day when Morbius comes in. We don't have too much Morbius to talk, but look, Morbius, we all saw it, whether we wanted to or not, but we did. But anyway, let's go right in. We're gonna get right into the hot topics. Andrew Garfield, guys. Andrew Garfield. The rumors going on. We've been talking about this forever. Who's going to be the Spider-Man in the Sonyverse? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? And rumors were going around that it was going to, in fact, be Andrew Garfield. But it's looking like, apparently, according to rumors, and Forbes is reporting this, but Forbes is kind of trashy lately, so we don't take this with a grain of salt there. But they're reporting that Andrew Garfield actually passed on the Sonyverse and does not want to be a part of the Sonyverse. Whether or not that's true, again, we don't know, but that's what's being reported right now. That's what's out there. And I've got to tell you guys, we'll start with you, Steve, and then Scotty will go over to you. I'm actually like, good for you, because look, I like the Venom movies, and I liked Venom. Or Morbius. I'm one of the people that was like, yeah, that could have been a lot worse. That being said, they're not the greatest movies. And he just came from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which I absolutely love. Check it out. I got to show my vinyl here. My 10th anniversary. I got to plug that. Anyway, I love the Amazing Spider-Man. I remember when it's very nice. I remember when nobody liked that movie. But but the thing is, though, that movie, Andrew's joining us now. That movie was the second one was received so poorly, even though it only made like 100 million less than Homecoming. It wasn't received very well. Sony shut it out, threw him out. They got Tom Holland in. So I kind of agree with him if this is true in passing, based on the movies that we've gotten and what happened to him already in Spider-Man. He doesn't want to be a guy who comes in. He's beloved right now. He's in a really good spot. He doesn't want to come in, have the fans, be in the subpar movie and the fans turn on him. He's already experienced that. Steve, what are your thoughts?
Well, maybe he got a taste of how the MCU is treated and how that goes, and maybe he liked it and equated it to his experience in the Sonyverse and said, you know what? Didn't get treated that nicely. I like the Marvel universe better. So maybe that was a deciding factor. I'm not really sure. I also don't believe a word he said, because I believe in interviews he said he wasn't in No Way Home, and he was. Spoiler alert. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I wouldn't blame him, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we still see him.
Absolutely. Scotty?
I think he has to detach himself emotionally from the character, because Venom's going to kill him.
Oh, what?
You guys remember the Tom Hardy post where Venom's biting a Spider-Man in half? I don't know. I just feel like a Spider-Man has to die eventually. Maybe it's Kraven that kills him, but I think there's a way to keep him around. I don't know. Did he say this in an interview? Is this a source solid? You're saying Forbes, right?
So I saw a few posts, and people were saying in these posts that Forbes hinted at it, but I haven't found the Forbes post. So so that's why I'm just like, just take this for what it is, which could be nothing. Mm-hmm. But I think it's worth talking about, because again, like we all saw Morbius, and we kind of, Steve, I think, liked it least of all of us, but we all kind of on some level enjoyed it more than the worst movie we've ever seen. I'm just saying, I understand why he would maybe be reluctant to return.
Because of Morbius, and the timing is suspect. Like someone's trolling us right now.
It could be. Andrew, what do you think it's a good idea for Andrew Garfield to walk away as Spider-Man?
To walk away as Spider-Man? Well, I mean, he's like you said, he's never been as warmly received as he is right now. People are screaming his name to the hills to get him to come back. I like your idea, Scotty, of Kraven possibly killing him, because that's pretty poetic. That's pretty cool. But I mean, if Morbius and if what is to follow has reached Andrew's ears, maybe he's smart for not wanting to come back. I don't know if you guys heard the new thing that dropped today about Sony's next Spider-Man villain movie, but I thought it was a joke. So if Andrew heard this, I'd say walk away, dude.
They're literally, yeah, okay. On it, so they showed some Kraven footage at CinemaCon yesterday, and then they announced. Here's the thing: they have so many characters, right? Because they have all of the Spider-Man characters. Every Spider-Man character they have, they can do anything they want, and they're just like, nah. The only saving grace to what they've announced last night is that it's going to be like a $50 million budget, right? Like, or Morbius.
And he'll be
75.
voiced by Jack Black, which is amazing. So,
what?
We're talking about the Mexican superhero wrestler.
He's going to be voiced by Jack Black. What?
That was a Nacho Libre joke that you.
No. See, this is how bad
missed.
it is. No, I love Nacho Libre, but this is when Sony's so bad that I'm actually believing you. That's the problem.
I literally, when I read that today,
My delivery was awful. That's my fault.
I looked at my phone today after I read that, because I was like, is it April 1st? Am I like, I thought it was a joke.
Steve, do you know what we're talking about?
I think I do. I've been working all day, so I've been away from the internet. But are you talking about Bad Bunny and Muerto?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you guys see him wrestle at WrestleMania last year? I'm gonna guess you didn't.
No,
I talked to some.
That man was committed to it and performed better than half the wrestlers on the roster. I'm telling you right now, if he's in it, he's gonna kill it. And you're eating your words.
What if Sony's really making these 1,000 IQ moves and we just have no idea? The payoff's going to be ridiculous.
The problem is he could do all that, but you need a story around all that.
No,
unless
James,
this is
hold on.
This is actually SummerSlam next year. That's what
you just need wrestling fans. That is it. They're like target market.
I'm in
now. We need a new demographic.
Yeah,
now.
no, you do. But wrestling fans don't show up to the movies. The Scorpion King did mad. Like they don't.
Yeah, I mean the Rock would be nowhere without the wrestling fans.
No, he would, but he's beyond that. Like 12 rounds. The movie wrestling fans show up a little bit, but they wait for they're pay-per-view people. Steve, you know.
I'm going to make a confession, gentlemen. I'm sorry. I have, in my life, watched a grand total of one wrestle.
One wrestle?
Wait, but the most important question is, which one was it?
It was like 1995 or something. It was Undertaker versus Goldust. It lasted about 40 seconds, and I thought, that's it? F this, and I switched back to cartoons.
That's a much deeper storyline.
I'm sorry.
Unbelievable. I think Sony is it was a weird move, but at the same time, I think the budget for that one's going to be cheap. I feel like it is a bad, but he probably like pitched the idea, you know, like this is what we need, because otherwise I don't understand. Like he's appeared in 9 comics, I think I read 9 issues or something. This character, I don't understand.
So he's not a Spider-Man variant. He is his own character. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, and he gets like a luchador mask with magic powers or something. I haven't read any of the comics. Like I know nothing about this character until like today is the first. And look, on one hand, I'm like, okay, fine, bring me a new character. But on the other hand, it's like you have so many characters.
Yeah,
like, you have an arsenal of characters, and they're like, we're gonna dig the bottom of the barrel.
But they're all, if they got Bad Bunny, so that gets merchandise, that gets some street cred for a lot of fan base, and it also covers demographics. Like it is what it is. Call a spade a spade. I think it's smart. I think it's ingenious of them. Go for it.
I think it's got to be a low budget. It's got to be a low budget, and you gotta have an. It depends on where we're at with comic book movies in January 2024 as well, because we're going to talk a little bit about Madam Web and Kraven in a little bit, and those might actually just kind of bury Sony for good. So we'll have to see where they are. But everything's only they're starting to really feel like 90s comic book movies are back at it. Like it's like the 1990 Fantastic Four movie is they're coming back, man. We're coming back to those days. That's what it's feeling like. Steve is all in on this though because he's a wrestling fan and he's like,
I'm not familiar with this guy, but is he gonna get juiced like Hugh Jackman, Wolverine? Like, is this guy gonna change his body like the other guy for the Eternals?
Anytime he's ever wrestled, he always wore long sleeves, so you couldn't really see how chiseled. I mean, he's not a big guy.
I'm just wondering if he's gonna get the full comic book hero treatment.
I'm interested in how, because I know he speaks English, but it's not his first language, and he struggles with English. So that I don't know if that will play into it at all, but just something to know.
I'm sure it would. I think they're going to play to that, like you said, a demographic. I think it's going to be you part, and that could be a good story. But I don't know what characters you surround him with, right?
No.
So that's, I mean, it's a question. Everything's a question mark.
It's a clean slate. They can do what they want. Well, let's see what they get.
Flash it back and bring back a Bonesaw type character.
Bonesaw.
I got you for 3 minutes.
We have a comment here from Christian Fernandez. I'm from Puerto Rico, so is Bad Bunny. I don't really think he's made for the part. He doesn't even know how to act, and his music, if we can call that, sucks, man. Sony is the wrong side here. I gotta be honest, I'm not familiar with this. I knew nothing about the character or this like a rapper. I'm old though, so I guess that makes sense. I never heard of any of them today going into it.
So it sounds pretty normal for Sony, basically.
Yeah, it sounds like Sony's doing what Sony does. Sony's doing. But I think, to Andrew's point, Andrew Garfield woke up, saw this. He goes, hard pass on, hey, Sony, hard pass. Which I think there needs to be, I mean, Sony maybe needs, I don't know who's in charge of everything. Maybe they have their own quote unquote Feige. I guess that's the term now. You've been Feige'd. But I feel like they need somebody who's passionate about the characters. I've been saying this about Superman too. You need someone who's passionate about these characters to kind of spearhead them into what they're doing. And I feel like Sony is clearly just in this for the bucks. And to Steve's point, this feels like it checks some boxes for them to make some money on. And again, I can't see it being a big budget film. And if Morbius was $75 million, it's made its budget back. So they can keep it cheap. They might be able to do it. But Madam Web's coming, and that one is freight train. Actually, let's go on to Madam Web and Kraven. You guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you are. Okay, so this might be spoilers. Apparently, the plots have leaked for Madam Web and Kraven.
Oh,
for better or worse. So I'm going to give it a read right now.
I'm ready for all of it.
I'm going to get the graphic in time. I'm going to start with Kraven. We'll start with Kraven. Here we go. The movie is about Kraven being recruited by Calypso to prevent corrupt magnate Gregory Hurd from performing the Gathering of the Five.
At last.
Hurd recruits the Foreigner and the Chameleon to stop Kraven, and Kraven later learns that the Chameleon is his brother, and their father, Nikolai Kravinoff, is the real villain and Hurd's boss. Calypso also works for Nikolai and manipulated Kraven so Nikolai could sacrifice him in the ritual, but she falls in love with Kraven and helps him fight Nikolai. Aaron Taylor Johnson is Kraven, and then it's just the casting. So this sounds like a movie, I guess. Again, this is not confirmed. This is a 4chan leak, so it might all be bogus. But Andrew, let's start with you. I've sent you these already. You've read them, and you said I'm going to go make a fan film based on these.
Look, I did some research after you sent me these, and I hit the streets with a microphone and a camera, and I interviewed every single comic book /movie/comic book movie fan I could find. And the only thing people said more than I can't wait to see El Muerto on screen is, oh my God, I finally get to see Kraven fight Nikolai Kravinoff. I've been waiting for this my whole life. Wait, that's a lie. Nobody says this. Nobody. Sony is taking a page out of Nintendo's business book at this point, which is, hey, Nintendo, we really want, a new Mario game or a new Zelda game. That's great. Here's some Yoshi wallpaper for your Switch.
Okay. You know what? we're gonna get to Madam Web in a second, Scott. I'm gonna go to you in a minute, but they're making all of their villains anti-heroes, but they also want the Sinister Six to go up against Spider-Man. They're digging themselves in a hole. All they really need to do, Scotty, is just make all of these movies the Joker. The Joker was about a villain. The Joker succeeded. Make character study pieces about their villains. Tell me Kraven and how Kraven became Kraven and why Kraven is Kraven. The Joker succeeded so well at doing that. Yet Sony, for some reason, wants to. They don't. If like they want to do one thing, but they also want to do something else because you can't have the villain as the main character. But then you also want the villains to team up and kill a hero that doesn't exist in your universe.
Yeah. They it's weird with all their Spider-Man stuff. You don't know what they're gonna do yet, and it's like why, but at the same time, I'm like Kraven, the last hunt, and a Spider-Man has to die. Like there are storylines that can be really good. They just have to set it all up, and with like the way they're promoting Morbius and that whole mess, I don't really know where they're going. But all I heard you say was Gathering of the Five, and like Andrew, I do homework, but I just Googled it real fast. Do you guys want to know what it's about? So it's a ritual of 5 arcane relics where the people were granted immense power, or they paid the ultimate price. Basically, there's names dropped in here like Norman Osborn. The relics could be a blessing or a curse, and it's basically the 5 people get power, knowledge, immortality, insanity, and death. But what they think their initial power is different. Like they perceive it's weird, gets weird. But the names are Maddie Franklin, Norman Osborn, Morris Maxwell, Gregory Hurd, who I think is in the league. Maybe you're going to bring up because I did read that before the show. And then Cassandra Webb, who I believe is Spider-Woman, or she's going to be Madam Web.
I think that's Madam Web.
Yeah. She's like the younger Madam Web,
which is what we're getting in the Madam Web movie.
But I think the older Madam Web will show up too, and I think it's going to get Spider-Verse-y, and it's going to be just as complicated as what Marvel's doing on their side, but their whole entire Spider-Verse version of it, basically.
Is one of those 5 things the Tablet of Time? I remember that from the cartoon.
Possibly. Does that? It could be like tied to the immortality side of things. Not really sure. This is just a very quick synopsis. It only has 6 total mentions. So it sounds like though finally they're pulling all, like they have all of these Spider-Man characters they don't do anything with. You know what I mean? So Spider-Verse hopefully opens it up to just, if this one storyline takes, they're like, okay, let's go play in this universe for a little bit. And if it doesn't, they're just like, all right, let's roll the dice again. You know, Marvel is kind of doing that stuff.
Yeah. Not Stomach Duck says, oops. I think that's in reference to Sony. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping Sony.
It's like phase 1 for them, hopefully.
Let's just say we're on phase 0 and they're moving on from here. Steve, what are your thoughts on the Cravens? Whether it's real or not?
Well, Andrew did his homework. Scotty just did a quick cram session. I'm just going to copy Scotty's answer because I don't actually have one. I don't really have much of an opinion on that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm trying really hard to join the Nikolai Krapanoff fan club, and they're just saying it's too full. There's not enough space left.
Yeah, no, everybody wants.
Although I like the actor, right? We like the actor.
Is it Russell Crowe?
Aaron Taylor Johnson or whatever that's playing
for Kraven.
Yeah, but I mean,
Kraven.
But again, you know, yes, but then I see the pictures of him as Kraven, and he looks like he's playing Kraven in a 1990s movie about Kraven. Like he's wearing,
it looks a little cosplayish to me.
Yeah, and he's wearing like suits and stuff, and I'm like, what is?
He's in the trailer for Bullet Train. Yeah, and he has like almost the long like Wolverine kind of mullet thing going with a beard. I don't know. It's a little.
He looks a lot. No, I think he looks a lot cleaner cut in Kraven. I think they're going for businessman Kraven. Okay. Kraven the headhunter is actually what he is, and he works for a.
So doesn't something happen to him though? Like Lazarus Pit, I think. Like, it gets weird, man. He gets like powers.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He'll probably fall in a vat of eels.
I think he has a
else.
transformation along the lines, but
So that's Kraven. We're going to move on to Madam Web because it only gets better from there.
and by better we mean weirder.
Yeah, here we go. The movie is about Julia Carpenter meeting Cassandra Webb and learning she is the next Madam Web and must protect the avatar of the web of life from a mysterious serial killer. The killer turns out to be Webb's daughter, Charlotte Witter, who I believe is going to be played by, I forget her name, who wants to start the avatar's powers for herself. It's getting deep. Julia must learn how to control her powers to fight Charlotte and protect the avatar teenager, Anya Carozan. Dakota Johnson is Julia, Sydney Sweeney is Charlotte, and Vera Farmiga is in final talks for Sandra. Sony wants Jenna Ortega for Anya and is eyeing Scott Eastwood, Moses Ingram, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan for support. This is just like they're just throwing names in there for supporting roles, and all of Hollywood for supporting roles is who they basically want in this. Anyway, this sounds like a great start with you, so that you don't feel like you didn't do your homework on this. Are you excited for Madam Web, or are you going to stick to just your DVD of Morbius?
No. I got to tell you, nothing you said there interested me at all. It's interesting to see, so many females in a movie. Like, you didn't say one male name there, I don't recall. So that, again, might be ticking a few boxes or a few demographics, but as far as the storyline goes, none of that resonated with me. I don't know any of those characters. I don't really have any emotional attachment to anything that was just said there. So I'm not saying I wouldn't see it, but that's one I just would wait and see what the reaction is, see what people say.
Andrew?
Hold on. Yes, a spot just opened up in the Charlotte Witter fan club. I'm in. Finally. Yeah. Ditto, Steve. Ditto.
Scotty?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go on some rant about the stuff, but
I think there's for both of these, there's potential for good movies in both of these.
Isn't Olivia Wilde directing something in here somewhere? I believe. I heard that forever ago that Olivia Wilde was attached to one of these, and that she had really serious talks with Kevin Feige. Like,
there's a lot of rumors.
I want these projects to blow up so we can get to more Spider-Man stuff. Like, I want them to have do your whole female Spider-Man universe and build up your Madam Web, and then pull everybody else in once it gets all trippy with the life tree thing. Spider,
it'll mean a lot more.
Yeah.
She was rumored or in talks for Spider-Woman, but now apparently she's in talks for Zatanna over at DC, and that's who wants. So it's gonna, so we're gonna see what
Gwen, dude.
Spider-Gwen would be good, but I don't like. I don't know the Sony stuff. It's just like like Girls with Sabers are here, and it's like the plot. Just there's a good movie there. Both of these, we can make fun of. Oh, we never heard of these characters. We don't know this or that. That's fine. You could probably make a good movie, but it's just their intentions just seem off. Like, it just seems the intention of these movies just seem far away. And because I just mentioned the Joker a little while ago, like that one started with an idea of, I want to tell the story about the Joker. This one feels like, we need to make more movies about these characters we have. Like that, like there seems to be a difference. It's like Matt Reeves' Batman. He's like, I want to make this Batman movie. It's like there's storytelling as a need versus a want, and Sony is all want right now, and they're just like, I just patch a plot together, don't worry about it. People are going to show up. It's superheroes. This movie's coming out in July. If the pandemic, I hope it's like all gone by then. We're all because July should be a hot spot for movies once again. And if this thing plays like Morbius, Morbius came out 1 week, was a surprise hit, and the second week was a bigger bomb than Dark Phoenix and New Mutants. Like, it did worst of any superhero movie of all time. It was in the second weekend. So that tells you something, and it feels like they're at least Steve, to your point a few weeks ago, they're not panicking. They're letting these crappy ideas ride. At least they're not doing what others
better or worse. It's not.
They're not doing like WB was making Justice League, and in the middle of it, Batman and Superman came, and they're like, "Whoa, let's change it all, change everything halfway through shooting." At least they're not doing that. I suppose that's the one good thing we could take away from this.
Yeah, they are dedicated to this. These sound like the plot lines to the Bono musical.
Big agreement with Girls with Sabers here. There,
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you guys feel like because Sony is so, for lack of a better word, detached from one of their own Spider-Men within their own universe, Marvel's trying to do, that introducing villains, new attachments, things like that, there is no real reason behind it? Because like for me, when I think of like where they have their Spider-Man, they have their Andrew Garfield and their Toby, both of which like those are dead storylines. We literally don't know where they're gonna go from there. So how do fans attach now to a Madam Web, to a Charlotte Witter villain, like with a cause, a true cause in the Spider-Verse, when they don't have any real ties to like the greater universe, which is a Spider-Man or a, you know, Mary Jane, or, you know, I just feel like they're going to have a really hard time starting with characters attached to Madam Web rather than Madam Web being introduced as a bigger threat in a Spider-Man film. That's the hype.
Yeah.
And then you do the origin stories, but they don't even have a Spider-Man right now, honestly.
Exactly. That's what's baffling. Like they can, not only did they make a great movie about Guardians of the Galaxy, but they did it when nobody cared about Guardians of the Galaxy, and they managed to pull a huge success out of their ass. But that was because they laid groundwork first with characters people do care about, and then just kept building on top of it. If your foundation's not strong, I don't know what, like, I really don't know what their goal is. We all assume Sinister Six because they've been talking about it for years. But if that's the case, can they please give us some kind of idea that that's their thing and that they have a plan for it, and that this really great idea came on the table and they just had to, you know, point at it and shoot? Because I don't know. Otherwise, it feels reactionary in a different way from WB.
Yeah, it's totally true. See, they started with Venom, and Venom did well. Venom was, I think, a surprise for them, a surprise hit for them. And then they made Venom 2 and Morbius, but it was almost like Morbius was like they didn't connect it to Venom really, which they didn't have to. But your thing with Guardians, what you're saying is Guardians, even though it was separate from everything in the MCU, like it really had no connection at all, really, outside from Thanos, I guess. It still felt like it was part of like that universe that we like, you know, it still had that feeling of it. Whereas like they haven't laid anything for that. You're right. And it's just, you're throwing, it feels so forced. You're just throwing it at us because gotta make superhero movies. We gotta make superhero movies. And it's no, you don't. You gotta make a good movie. You gotta make a good movie for us to want to go back and watch your next movie. And the thing is, I just watched this video of Feige from, what year did Man of Steel come out? 2013? Mm-hmm. It was from 2013. Yeah, and they were like, do you want DC to fail or something? He goes, no, they got to do well. He goes, Man of Steel looks amazing. Like, they have to do well so that we do well. Because the thing is, if Sony has 2 more movies, if they keep bombing like Morbius, we might not go see we'll probably always go see a Marvel movie, but we might not go see the next low tier superhero movie. You know, we might not give Blue Beetle a shot. We might not give those other ones. We might not give like the next Shang-Chi, whatever that is. Give that a shot. They might lose our trust, and trust is a big thing with movies.
I've been screaming that if you want you to play nice together and Sony not to take all their toys and go home, you have to kind of continue to play nice with Sony yourself. Like, we're gonna troll them so hard that, you know, I really do find it funny, and I think there could be a point where they don't want a partner, and Tom Holland is over 30, and he's not Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, I think it could go the opposite direction very fast.
We're gonna get 20 Spider-Man reboots in the next 5 years because of Sony. The Morbius reboot's coming.
No, and every reboot will just be a variant that they.
Yeah,
would that be so bad?
At least make him Transylvanian this time, for God's sake.
Plasma.
And it sucks though because you hear the director of Morbius talking. I'm like, I think he actually really believed in it. I want to see the Morbius cut from 2 years ago. I really want to see it. I don't believe it was good still, but but Tyrese has like a thing on his arm. Like, what is going on? There's something going on with this movie.
There are as many cuts of Morbius out there as there are MCU films, period.
One of them's got to be good, right?
Yeah.
You would think and you would hope. All right, let's move on to my most excited movie, and I'm not even saying that facetiously. I'm really looking forward to this, and that's Batgirl. We're going to talk about Batgirl a little bit because there's talk that it might be going the way of Blue Beetle from HBO Max to the theater.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit. We might find out today at 7 p.m. Eastern today. They might even announce it at CinemaCon. Who knows?
I'm tuning into that.
Look, man, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I heard about the Batgirl movie. I was like, whatever. And then I kind of was like, you hear a little bit more about it. I'm getting a little more invested in it. And I saw the costume, and people were like, I don't like the costume. And I was like, I freaking love the costume. And the reason being is because she looks like Batgirl. And I was like, that's what I want for Batgirl. And then you had Michael Keaton as like an older, wiser, maybe wiser, who knows, older Batman who might help her along the way. She might help him, who knows. Brendan Fraser, and then, Killer Moth, possibly. All these little things coming up, possibly getting a Nightwing end credit scene. Like, there's a lot going into Batgirl that really excites me, and it's going to be on HBO Max. And I was kind of okay with it on HBO Max because I'm lazy. And I'm like, I can watch it at home. But if you bring it to the theater, what the theater does is it's a vote of confidence, right? Like Blue Beetle, before they even shot a thing of anything on film or digital, they're like, it's theatrical. And that's like a huge vote of confidence. Batgirl hasn't had that yet. And it looks like maybe it is good enough to be a theatrical film. If it is, can it come out before The Flash in 777 years from now because of the Michael Keaton connection? That's really my question. But Scotty, how do you feel? Scotty's on the chat right now, Gotham Knights. He's been telling this forever. But Scotty, you hear about Batgirl possibly going from HBO Max to the theater. What do you think? Are you going to buy your ticket?
Yeah, I'm excited for that film. The Michael Keaton stuff still kind of confuses me a little bit. I prefer the Barbara Gordon storyline where she has like kind of a relationship with Bruce a little bit. I think it's the Killing Joke animated movie that kind of leans on that storyline, but I just like that dynamic of him having to mentor her while also having feelings for her at the same time. And I don't know if the Keaton thing's gonna vibe really well if they do that because he's kind of older. But yeah, Gotham Knights too. I wish that, like, because I like her look and I feel like it really vibes with the Pattinson universe. And I want Pattinson's universe to do the Nightwing, to do the Red Hood, like that kind of stuff. It's much more gritty. This movie is supposed to be the show, right, for HBO Max. We saw like blood on the.
Yeah, she gets beat. Beat up.
I'm excited. I mean, HBO typically, like, I'm a fan of Titans, Doom Patrol, that kind of, like, I liked those shows. So.
Yeah, I look, Gotham Knights, the hashtag shows reporting that movie is happening right now at HBO Max. That could change because we're gonna get apparently a Red Hood movie as well. Andrew, Batgirl, HBO Max movie theater. Are you buying a ticket?
Oh yeah, I've been so excited for Batgirl, and I still am. And I love the fact that they might move it onto the big screen because that just automatically makes it an event. It stops, you throw it on HBO Max, fine, people will look forward to it still, but it just doesn't feel like an event if it's there. Nobody is like checking their calendar every morning and counting down the days until the Atom Project comes out because it's not an event when it's streaming. It's just not. So you can put this thing out in theaters. You can create the buzz. There should already be buzz in the air. I mean, this is me making an assumption because we are supposed to be getting the Gotham Knights video game in October, but considering everything ever is getting delayed, maybe I should just shut up and not talk about that and jinx it. But there will be buzz in the air, so take advantage of that buzz, maybe. I'll be excited either way, but more so on a big screen.
Steve, I know you're a big Brendan Fraser fan. So
I am.
He was in The Mummy too with The Rock. So
it all connects. No, ride the Batman hype train. If they think it can do well at the box office, go for it. Like I said, it's only going to create awareness. I don't think it'll have a negative impact on how it gets perceived. So yeah, if they think it's good, that's a vote of confidence. And I'm not the hugest Batgirl fan, but hey, I'll go.
Yeah, I think
make it fun.
That's what I'm hoping, and it seems like I like Leslie Grace playing Batgirl. She's already talked about how they're planning on sequels. It seems like she's all in on the role, and she had a great time doing it. The directors seemed like they had a great time. The Rap Party, they had pictures from the Rap Party, which you don't see that often on these kind of films at all. Everyone kind of seemed to really vibe and get along and really enjoy what they were doing, which makes me say, give us more. And you know what? Even if the first movie is a bit of a stumble, give them do another one. Just let them do maybe cheaper. But this one probably didn't have a big budget because it's on HBO Max anyway.
Well, do you think there's less pressure on them because when they were filming it, they weren't thinking it's going to be at the box office? It's going to be HBO Max. So there's less pressure, so it made the cast able to gel a little bit better.
Possibly. I mean, I think though they all kind of do it for the. I think they were doing it. They were actually, Steve, to your point, with one-upping themselves to be like, we're good enough for the theater. We're good enough to be theatrical. However, to that point, Kilar, who was in charge of it all, he stepped away when Zaslav came in, and now it's Toby Emmerich's in there. Emmerich apparently, I think, wanted these movies in the theater, and Kilar did not, and there was a lot of like headbutting over there in regards to that, and that's why they had the same date released last year, and that was a disaster for everything but basically Mortal Kombat. I think like the two DC movies they had that came out the same day were Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman, and they're like their two lowest profiting films that they've had in DC. And it's, I mean, okay, pandemic, but also same date. It's people aren't going to go. You're not going to go see a movie in the theater if you can watch it at home in a pandemic, or if it's something that you're 100% not obsessed with. And thanks to Girls with Sabers for the super sticker.
Thanks, Girls with Sabers.
It's Batgirl super sticker. It's not. It says fist bump. But look, honestly, Batgirl, I've been talking about this for 2 months now when we've been doing this, and I am excited for that. I hope, I don't think we will, but I'm hoping tonight they show something, and I won't be able to see it because I'm not in Vegas, but I hope it leaks online. Looking at you, Vegas people. Leak it online if you get Batgirl, because I'm dying to see it. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of faith in what they're doing for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I do. And if I'm wrong, I will never admit it. Ever. Anything else you guys want to say about Batgirl before we wrap up? Because I could talk about Batgirl all day.
Hashtag go purple.
There you go.
Actually, yeah. 4 years ago, Andrew and I did a video on a Batgirl script being written. And the one thing Andrew said is, I don't care as long as she's wearing purple and yellow. And she is. So they watched that video, actually, when they made the movie 4 years later. They watched that video. All right,
Andrew's actually a consultant on the movie.
Andrew is actually Leslie Grace. We didn't even know. Our last topic today is Venom 3 officially announced from Sony last night. I mean, we've all seen Venom. We all enjoy Venom. I don't think they are the pinnacle of comic book movies, but I think they're fun. I think the first one, like I said earlier, surprised a lot of people. Tom Hardy, to the point I just made about the people making Batgirl, Tom Hardy seems to very much love playing Venom and be Venom. He wrote the story for Let There Be Carnage, so he's very much involved. And the rumor is that Andy Serkis is returning. There's no other details though. It's just when it was like Ghost. They announced Venom 3 and Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 or 4, whatever you want to call it, and that's it. There was nothing, no follow up on them. Like, yeah, we're gonna do them. It's like, well, DC's been doing that. DC and Star Wars have been doing that for years, and look where we're at. So I don't know how much I have faith in either one. I have faith in Venom though, because it seems like they make the Venom movies. But and it's going to be Toxin will be the villain. Steve, I know you really were hoping for more symbiotes as the villains, but that's all we know right now. It's looking like it's going to be Toxin, Andy Serkis coming back, and obviously Tom Hardy. I think they have a lot of room to grow with this, and I think him being in No Way Home, they can play with that a lot as well. I don't think that'll be a main story point, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, Steve, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on Venom 3?
I have no problem with it being Toxin, but after 2 movies already, let's have a foe that's not another symbiote. Let's have something a little bit different. Maybe a different type of alien or something. I don't know. I figured they're going to make a third. There's no reason why they wouldn't. Like you said, the ones they performed well enough. They weren't the blockbusters of the MCU, but they performed. So, of course, we're going to get a third one. I'm happy with Andy being the director for it. So, cool. I'm a big Venom fan, so I'm here for it.
Scotty?
Rumor or Variety reporting? Because
the movie's happening. Venom 3 was officially announced. But
that's
but everything else is speculation at this point. They didn't announce the director or anything, and people are just assuming, and it would make sense for it to be Toxin because of the this comments about Garfield not being a Venom. Yes, we talked about it at the top, and we talked about that was just a speculation.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Tom Hardy tweet and delete multiple things. One of them included a Venom biting a Spider-Man completely in half.
Yes, he did.
I think it's poetic. I think it would set up the stakes between the new Spider-Man and Venom very well. I think you could even just sprinkle a little null in. What I mean, I've always been talking about the big bad, and he's a connected big bad to the MCU as well. So I feel like we got to have patience. What gets me optimistic and hyped is the ambition. Like, there are so many things they can do here, and I'm just like, do it all. Just do it all. Take your time. It's good story too. They someone in the chat hit on that earlier, and James mentioned it. Like, the scripts have to be good. Comic book movies comic books are deep. Like, some of the most memorable moments in comic books are deep. And we've already had like Gwen Stacy moment. Like, that brings people to tears when you watch No Way Home and remember what happened. You don't even, it's like it was a big meme here and there, but it still hits you. So they need more of that, more scripts like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll stop my rant.
Andrew?
The Venom movies are strange. I think the best way I can put it is I got no problem with these 2 movies we got. I think they're fine movies. They're entertaining. But having said that, I'm in the same kind of boat as you, Steve. I don't care about Toxin. I'm done. At the end of the day, Venom is the dark version of Spider-Man. And if you don't put them on screen together, what are you doing? I don't want to watch 4 movies about Bizarro if he's never going to come up against Superman. Like,
what?
I don't.
I'm working on my
Bizarro's pretty funny.
I'm working on my Bizarro movie pitch right now as we speak. It's a 6-movie arc where he's
Bizarro versus Nikolai Kravenov. Finally, thank God. So
JJ just cast Henry Cavill as Bizarro just to troll them.
So I like, if it comes out and it's just Toxin, like I feel like it's just gonna feel like the first movie.
Should they take Venom in a different direction? Make him the lethal protector. I'm not gonna say going out fighting crime, but doing something different than battling other symbiotes. That could be a direction to take it. That might be a little more intriguing or a little more compelling as a character.
I think battling symbiotes might work, but they just shoehorn them in. Like,
here's another one.
It's like, how did he become Toxin? Well, he got squeezed by Carnage. Like, in the comics, it's like, but like, give me a little bit more. Like, his eyes change. Like, I know what you're saying, and maybe they should take them in a different direction. But if you're gonna keep pushing, like, Carnage was great, but he kind of like just, I don't know. It just feels like they're rushing things sometimes. And it's like, take your time, get there, and do it. And Toxin, the thing with Carnage versus Toxin is, it's all about me, but I love Carnage. Carnage was a character, right? That was someone in like the 80s, 90s, Carnage, or mostly early 90s. Carnage was huge. Like, he was everywhere. I showed the video game, Andrew, a Game Boy game. Mm-hmm. Like, Carnage was everywhere when I was younger. And so that was like, but Toxin feels like Toxin's what, like early 2000s, like it's newer. doesn't have the prestige that Carnage has. And I don't know. I just think, yeah, maybe Steve's got a point. Maybe you let him venture off in a different direction. Like you have Venom. I don't think everybody loves Venom, but everybody likes Venom enough that we're going to go see the third one. Like we trust Venom enough, and I think they can have some fun and move away from it.
I think you can do both, and I think that I need my Venom to go dark. I need him to be a villain to Spider-Man, so I think you can do that, and you can sacrifice. I'll stop talking about killing Spider-Man after this after this stream, I promise. But you can sacrifice a Spider-Man at the cost of making Venom like that guy now. You know, he needs to be that guy to Spider-Man. And then once he's able to like realize, okay, I like living here. He's already mentioned that a few times that Earth is someplace that he enjoys, like he enjoys being here. And I think the Lethal Protector line is a hint, huge hint. Tom Hardy and Andy Serkis together can really go very far with Venom. You know what I mean? I feel like they can carry it.
Andrew, do you want to see Venom versus Nikolai Kravinov?
I've already written that fan screenplay, so.
Well, what direction would you take?
You just posted it in the fan group.
He did. The Spider-Man Must Die fan group. Scotty is actually the leader of the Sinister Six. We don't even know.
Spoiler.
I told you that in confidence.
Oh no! All the 3 people watching are gonna go somewhere.
Hey, listen, they have friends. They'll tell people.
Andrew, what direction would you take Venom in?
I think right now I would just put him on screen with Spider-Man. Red and blue versus black and white. It just looks good together. I would go darker along the vein you're thinking, Scott. Like, I don't know if anybody saw that Joel Edgerton movie, The Gift, where he's stalking Jason Bateman. I would make Eddie Brock like that. I would have him stalk Peter Parker because he knows who he is. He's getting under his skin, and I would turn it into like this thriller of like Peter's dealing with this guy who's stalking him because he knows he's under the mask. Unfortunately, I don't know if that fits in this world. I don't know if that fits with the Venom they've given us, but that's the Venom I've always kind of wanted to see. So I would just kind of throw it the closest I could to that bocce ball and see where it lands.
Oh, the bocce ball. Steve, anything else you want to add to this Venom 3 before we wrap it up?
No. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Sin Eater, but that is a character I think could be done very well and serve a great purpose in the third Venom movie, and use that to set up for a fourth Venom movie where he and Spider-Man just go right at it. But I don't think number 3 is the right place for it.
No, and Toxin's just a rumor at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's guaranteed from the ending of Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah, because that cop is
exactly that's who's going to be playing Toxin. But
for sure.
But also, you could probably have Toxin in the movie and not be the main antagonist as well. There might be another threat looming. We can't forget that, unless they do exactly what they just did and make it a straight story, like with no subplots or anything. That's also very plausible too.
Actually, yeah, because like he left a symbiote there. What's to say that when he lands, something didn't land somewhere? Like other things could be coming off him while he's bouncing back and forth through this.
Yeah, that piece of symbiote he left behind, that's going to make or break a lot of things.
I'm telling you, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
People don't know about yet.
Or it's already been forgotten. All right, everyone, we're going to wrap it up. Andrew's got to get to the movies. He's watching a Nicolas Cage movie tonight. And he's like, I got to get out of
Watching the Nicolas Cage movie.
He's going with Nicolas Cage as well.
So I have no choice in that matter. He's coming whether I like it or not.
He's coming by. Andrew, why don't you plug your damn book?
My book, Side Scroller. This is it right here. You can buy it on Amazon right now. I promise it is better than at least 2 of the Maze Runner books. I promise.
But not the first one.
Not the first one.
No, sorry, the second one. It's not better than the second one.
I'm not that good a writer yet. But Amazon's got it.
Amazon's got it. And also find him on YouTube at Andrew Fantasia, youtube.com/Andrew Fantasia. Girls with Sabers like that Atari cover for
Yeah,
sure.
it's Girls with Sabers.
And Scotty, your YouTube channel, plug it. You're on point today, so I got to put that up there while you plug away.
Yeah, man. Hawks Holocrons has been a lot more active as of recently, doing a lot of gaming, but I'm getting back into. And my camera keeps doing that weird thing because I live in the Outer Rim. So the more people that subscribe to me and the faster we can get this growth going, I might be able to pull some stuff out of the Outer Rim. And then, you know, it's all about the quality over here.
Yeah.
I mess with green screens and stuff. We have a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing skits, stupid stuff. But
And you're going to be up all night following the WB cinema.
yeah.
today.
Yeah, I was going to. Oh, it strictly prohibits. So, you know, you guys know what that means. We might get some news tonight.
Oh, we'll see what happens. And Steve, you tweet.
Sometimes. Not very successfully, but yeah, sometimes. I got nothing to promote. Tweet me. Tell me something I should do. Go for it.
Tell Steve to plot to Madam Web too. I know he wants to know.
I'm all ears.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching us today. It's fun watching the It's fun talking superhero stuff on Tuesday with you all. Every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, we're here. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You four as well. It's always fun talking with you guys, especially. And until next time, may you be the master of your own Nicolas Cage.